Jesus.
Let's do $1,000 and I'll hold it in escrow.
Not enough.
Oh,
You're just trying to raise it.
You're trying to make it.
No, I'm so confident.
Okay, I will do this.
You deserve you deserve like 2 or 3 to 1 odds, or even like 10 to 1 odds. But no, if you just want to go straight up, let's just go. Let's just go to like 10K or something.
Bro, Slasher went from like a humble journalist just trying to make it to now like big in the bet. That's
I feel like he's trying to
cover 10 to 1 odds on 10K.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait. So who gets the odds in this case? Is that
no?
me,
You should, but you're too stupid to understand what is happening. So no, it's just straight up.
Okay, listen, I don't think you have $10,000, but if you do, I'll happy to escrow that with him. I'll do $1,000 also.
Okay.
But this is an escrowed bet.
Cool for you to insult my personal. You don't know anything about me, Dan.
What? I'm not saying anything about it. I'm betting that the logs will leak, and you're calling me retarded, saying that it's not possible.
It's so absurd. I actually can't even believe it.
We'll say it's 10K, and I'll DM you both privately to set up the escrow. Okay?
You want to do it, Slasher?
All right. Did you guys see the tweet from a guy named Relum who said he worked there and he had access to most of the data information?
All I've been told about that guy from multiple trusted sources that are within and ex-Twitch is that he should not really be trusted.
Okay, he's just yapping. Gotcha.
There are many Twitch and ex-Twitch employees that are not happy with him right now. No, it does not seem like he is a very reliable person.
But hold up, did he work in
I've not spoken to him. I do not know anything. I don't know.
Okay, Destiny, did you see this guy's tweet?
Show me which tweet?
I'm gonna give it to you so you can read it.
Okay.
It's yours.
Just real quick, Slasher, I don't know if you heard Abba's question. He said, did this guy work in trust and safety? Can you confirm that for us? That he worked in trust and safety?
But just go read the piece.
Okay, so you can't confirm or deny that Relum worked in trust and safety?
Oh. I don't know anything about Relum.
Okay. All right.
I honestly, I don't know his Twitch background, honestly. I've just been told multiple times, do not listen to this guy.
Okay, but I think Abba has a point that if he's from Trust and Safety, if he worked there, then I would probably want to read through stuff with, taking it with a grain of salt, but I would actually want to read through some of his statements.
I cannot personally say anything about him, though I did just get a funny text about him. I can't say one way or the other than I've just been warned multiple times without me even having to prompt anything. I've just been messaged.
Oh, this is the guy that I retweeted, and I says he's gonna say something, but doesn't say anything at all. This guy.
Multiple ex and current employees reached out and be like, specifically, this guy, do not listen to. But I don't have any personal reason not to. I can't say anything myself about why you shouldn't or should.
Yeah.
But I trust the people reaching out. I trust them more than I trust this guy. So I'm leaning that way.
Wow.
Did we put to bed that fake email that came out? The one to
no, it is not real.
Commentary guy?
It is not real.
Yeah.
What about the trans sex worker thing with Doc? Is that real?
Cannot confirm. I don't see any reason to think that she made all that up, but I haven't spoken to her. I don't know.
I mean, it looked real. There was a recording. And by the way, Slasher, I realize now, as someone tells me that I autistically speak autistically sometimes, this is not me trying to fight you. I was just trying to come up with any way possible to understand why Doc would do what he's doing. And the only thing that clicks in my mind is he thinks that the release of the logs is imminent, and he's trying to get in front of it. That's where that's coming from.
Well, no, the Bloomberg report came out. And as much as you want to say that, like, it didn't have additional information and that journalists don't matter and that who fucking cares, that is like a real publication with real lawyers who means they really vetted it, and that requires a response. There was no, and not only was it that, but everybody, Nick and Tim did the video before he made his tweet. There were a lot of people that had already responded to the reporting that I think at that point it was inevitable he had to already say something, he probably was in panic mode. I don't think it was because I think there was 0% of him that thought that, quote unquote, the logs would come out. I think it was just because of what was actually unfolding.
Well, I'm trying to think about like what data has actually been released here. All that's been released is basically people saying,
God damn it, Dan. The main point.
I can't even speculate without you going nuts. I just said all that's been released is that Doc was banned for sexting with a minor.
Because you sound like, I feel like every person on the internet, and it is very frustrating. It's basically, if you don't trust journalists and you don't give a shit about the reporting, then obviously you're going to have all these questions, and they're always going to remain unanswered, and you're always going to be annoyed that you don't have this piece of info, and you think this is kind of weird and odd. And I agree, there are certain contexts to this case that can be questioned. But if you trust journalists and their reporting, and their sourcing, then at this point, the whole thing is relatively clear. It's not that you have most of the facts from it, and it's relatively easy, I think, to put together, in my opinion. It's only based on if you trust certain reporting.
I have no idea. Did you not hear what I'm saying? I said, wow, I'm like I do trust journalists. Okay, first of all, I'm just trying to understand why the doc went full retard. Okay, because the journalists that I do trust, okay, like yourself, that wrote this story, but all they've said is that he was banned for texting with a minor. That's it. That's like I feel like the doc could have said 1,000 things that would have been better to say than what he said. He said the worst thing ever. There has to be a reason that he's like, of all the things I could say.
I think he just went to panic mode. I mean, I don't have any insight. I don't think it was because he was afraid of more. I think what I'm trying to tell you is you're undervaluing how much the impact the Bloomberg article report had. I'm telling you
he definitely just knows the document is out there. He's worried about the trust and safety report coming out. That's what he's worried about. That will characterize the messages.
I think the Bloomberg report from a 1 to 10 has got to be like a 9.5 on the I am fucked, and that is what made him panic. Again, no, but I really don't think it is a looking forward more. I mean, look, I cannot say that there's not more. I cannot say that there's not more about maybe other cases or other potential situations, and that there might be even more to this specific case. So that is possible. But I really think it was an instinctive reaction to the Bloomberg report, and then people reacting to the Bloomberg report. Personally,
when was the Bloomberg report compared to Doc's tweets?
The Bloomberg report is what started everything.
It was that morning that kicked off. That morning. So it was the morning, and then around noon, Doc tweeted his final big write-up tweet.
The full retardation one, right? Okay.
Yes, the Bloomberg report preceded the eventual.
I could imagine being the Doc, and you're getting a call from Bloomberg being like, "Hi, I'm a journalist at Bloomberg, and I'm writing a story about how you were texting minors, and we have sources on record now, and I just wanted to get your comment." I could imagine him being like, fuck, they have a paper trail, they have actual evidence, they're going to release a lot of shit, I have to get ahead of this. That's what I would be thinking. That's why I went back to I think the doc was fearful that something was going to get leaked, the logs or an internal report or something saying like, yeah, so Doc was here talking with a 13-year-old, said multiple times, I love that 13-year-old butthole or whatever it is, and that's what he was afraid of. Because up until then, and even with the article, it's just like not that,
I can't believe that's what you think would happen, or even you think that he think that is what. I don't know.
Well, I think Doc is more like me. In the retardation part. Sorry, apparently. Got to be careful with that one. Whoops.
Sorry, I walked away. Dan's 100% correct. There's no reason the doc would come out and say, yeah, I was inappropriate with a minor, unless he knew something was coming out.
Yeah.
Knew for a fact. Hey, 10 people have this document.
He's trying to get ahead of it. That's it. There's the only way you do this. Sure. It's the only way if you're trying to get ahead of it.
Bloomberg had to give him 12 to 24 hours to make a comment. So he knew he was given contact beforehand asking for comment. I'll also say that he had the same thing from me. I filed, my report came out on Thursday afternoon. He was asked for comment on Wednesday afternoon. I never heard back. There was no response for comment, but there was indication to him that there will be something coming and that the questions given to him were in the reporting. So he does have forewarning that a report is going to be coming because he is asked for comment. Every person and or entity, in these reports that have come out were asked for comment. Most of them just did not respond to comment. Twitch did not respond to comment. Dr. Respect did not respond to comment. YouTube did not respond to comment. Like the comment that I got on record was from the ex-head of Twitch, of YouTube gaming. Like current YouTube, which I asked for comment based on his statement, did not reply. So that's actually pretty standard. You reach out to a bunch of people to ask if you have any comment, and most of them won't even say no, they just won't even answer. But they do have forewarning beforehand to at least try to craft something, which should actually be even worse, because if you think that Doc had forewarning the Bloomberg article was coming, that he would have had a better tweet than what happened.
He was probably assuming that something crazy was going to be in the article. Like Doc knows what's in those DMs, right? It must be something wild. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, I think that actually goes without saying. He was fucking banned from Twitch. It must be fucking crazy. It's not like going to be like some minor faux pas, like, oh, haha, you're 17, lol, can't wait. Like, it's not going to be that. It's going to be some fucking crazy shit.
Well, we don't actually know that, right? Because we can imagine worlds where if it was absolutely fucking crazy, if it was too crazy, would the parents of the child be okay with no statement being made, with no charges being filed, no settlement? It might be the case that, like, because if it was, maybe you would expect, well, no, then it absolutely would have leaked. Like, somebody would have said something, or the parents would have made a stink about it, right? Or there would have been an arrest.
Or there was a settlement also with the parents.
Those are possibilities.
All of those are possible, yeah, but I'm saying we don't know the answer to that, right?
Yes, the possibilities, still unclear on what the detailed agreement is. And look, I don't want to make it seem like I'm joking about. I really have, as the years have gone by and I've been beaten down by the entire internet and every single personality calling me a liar, and then just a cloud chaser and all that. I even here and then made a joke about like this situation because it's like a coping mechanism on how much like but I understand that should not be done. It really is a serious situation. It's not intended for there to be comedic value.
What do you think about the CEO's comments about it then?
Dan?
Yeah.
That I thought was in very poor taste, especially to do it with Mizkif. I thought that was kind of unbelievable.
What do you think about Cody's comments, like joking about getting rid of, leaking it if his band sold it?
Yeah, that was wrong. That was wrong, and him tagging me, also not a good look on me. I can take full responsibility. That is not, I should not be doing that. Cody should not be doing that. And then for the situation to evolve like this, with Cody doing that, it is a very bad look. Cody,
that guy looks like shit, by the way.
It was a joke, but again, no, jokes should not have been made in, now that information has come to light. No, it is not a responsible thing to do. So I was wrong to do that. I can own that. And it should be taken more seriously than internet jokes. I mean, there's a lot of this entire thing because of it was so hidden where, anyone who's not directly involved, they don't know. And like making jokes about it is pretty easy. There's like a million different things that you could make fun of. But, I shouldn't be doing it. I don't want it to seem like I take happiness in all of this. I feel vindicated somewhat that I can clear my name to some people who, there's still people out there that either still think I fucking lied and or I covered for Dr. Disrespect, both of which are not true. They're not going to be convinced, most likely. But for some, they will be able to trust me again. People hate me for totally unrelated reasons. I mean, whatever. That's all good. But I do feel somewhat vindicated, but I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm happy about this entire story, which is, it's awful. None of this is good. I didn't find
Oh, him getting caught is good.
I didn't find glee in, this entire saga. It was not fun.
It's good for him getting caught, right?
Yes. Even though I have no idea how this will affect his career going forward. It seems
I'm pretty sure for 2 reasons his career is over. Number 1, all of his friends are like the super hate trans, hate gay people, all that type of shit. And there's fucking DMs now of Doc jerking off with a fucking trans sex worker. So it's over on that front. And it's over on the front that they're not too kind also with the whole pedophile thing also. Or a pedophile.
You just said he was gripping it, bro. Come on.
That's like the new squeezing the hog.
Chill.
Listen, Twitch, Doc is done. And not just on YouTube, okay? He's done. He's actually done.
I mean, him getting demonetized and having his subscriptions removed is pretty significant, I will say. But who's to say, he can't go to Kick or Rumble and become a rebel and
there's no fucking shot.
And go on an arc that makes him like the Joker, Dr. Disrespect, and he gets 4 times.
Rumble and Kick are done with being the platforms for pedophiles. They're both done. That's never happening.
Yeah, he's for sure donezo at this point. And also, Slasher, I want to say, I feel like sometimes when you're on the inside looking in, okay, which is what you are, you're on the inside looking in, you assume the worst about people's intents towards you. And I just want to say that, people, I don't think, you keep saying this, people assume that you were lying, that you didn't know, anything like that.
I've been told many times. I cannot describe to you how many times I have been lying to
all of us, myself included.
Liar piece of shit is hundreds of thousands of times.
No. We were just saying that because we wanted to know. Okay?
I'm not imagining it. Yeah, you two are just joking. That's fine.
No. Everyone else too. We said that.
No.
Tell us he was banned. Tell us. That's why. They didn't think you had fake info. That would be insane. It's just they're fucking pissed because I want to know. Why is Doc banned? Why? Tell me.
So much of my pain was self-inflicted, and again, my fucking fault, my bad. Don't make those tweets. Please learn from me. If you have information, don't just say you do it. Either do the reporting or shut the fuck up. Those are your 2 options. I understand it was self-inflicted, but it's not like I'm imagining it.
No. There was a third option here, Rod. There was a third option, absolutely. That was becoming anonymous and leaking this stuff, basically making an anonymous paste bin, saying, here's the stuff I've been told, and then you yourself retweeting it and being like, that's weird. There's absolutely a third path here that you haven't acknowledged.
The WikiLeaks strategy.
I would want to know why exactly I don't know how exactly you get away from the idea that you wanted the clout from this, and that's why you didn't leak it.
No, he obviously didn't, because he didn't do it.
No, I'm saying anonymously. Doc objectively went to another platform, made millions of dollars, still had a massive public profile after doing all of this. And Slasher knew about it, so I'm saying I totally trust that you knew about it. How exactly do we get away from the idea that you covered for him? You could have just published this anonymously.
That's a little rough. Sweep for Slasher.
I'm saying hypothetically.
It's a scary situation. I can imagine being in that place. Even look at me on the podcast 2 months ago. Me I heard in Rust from a guy buying a mini at Outpost. Even I'm thinking okay, what's really actually likely to have happen in this situation right here? So I can understand that he had fear. Okay, I'm about to with a guy that's worth tens of millions of dollars. How dangerous is this for me?
Don't forget Amazon. You say it's just Amazon. No, bro. Fucking Amazon.
So I understand that.
Scary Amazon.
Right. I understand all this is it's a real. So that you can't just say, oh, he did it for clout or didn't do it for clout. Now, to be clear, I do agree with you. I think that you should have become Assange or Snowden and become the fucking you're a Greenwald or someone and been the dude who broke the rules and leaked it anyways. And Amazon suing you would have been the best thing in the world. What could you have actually lost? You know what I mean? Your house was homesteaded.
With Assange and Snowden were able to do that because they had documents. That was really what allowed them to do certain things without having documents, which did not exist really until 5 days ago. It really is so difficult.
Sure. I'm just arguing, and I'm not trying to actually say you did this. I'm saying there are people who think this, right? Who think that, like, hey, you cover for this guy. I'm saying to put to bed those rumors, those thoughts. Like, why exactly did you decide not to go the anonymous route at all?
It didn't feel right. Shouldn't be doing that. Either I can report it myself, professionally, or I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
Can I ask you a question on this thing? So let's say I give you firsthand information about Destiny, okay? And I show you stuff, but I don't let you make a copy. But you know now this is legit shit. So I show you a video of Destiny stomping on puppies, and it's like the most fucked up shit you've ever seen, but you know this is legit. Like, you can't deepfake what I just showed you. You're throwing up. It's so fucking unbelievably. And he's sitting there saying, yeah, look, dogs, doesn't matter. I eat them for meat. Why would I care about them here? Like, the whole thing, it's real. I've shown you this. I'm obviously a good friend of Destiny, the whole thing, but I'm like, listen, I can't give you a copy of this. He knows I'm the only one who has a copy. I don't even know why he sent it to me. Are you going to report on it?
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd report the shit out of it.
I need the copy of the tape.
If you know.
Nope.
Yeah,
I need the copy.
The hypothetical here isn't really even that hypothetical. This guy has gone and targeted a minor and said, yeah, I don't care that you're 16, 17, whatever the age was. Said, no, that's fine. I'm going to keep making sexual comments. He has this pattern set up. Like, how... I don't understand. Is there no moral imperative here for you at all? That you need to make sure that this guy doesn't continue to go on and victimize more people?
There is, but, you know, Twitch is doing their own investigation. It's not for me to... The only person who should be, if they ever want to speak, is the victim.
No. I'm sorry, this is the most broken mindset in my opinion, okay? Victims have a duty to report stuff like this. People have a duty to actually make sure that this doesn't happen in the future. This is like, it's so brain dead, in my opinion, to go, oh, well, we have to defend the victim, that's our number one priority. My number one priority is making sure more victims don't happen. We can't unrape that fucking person, okay?
So as a real...
I'm sexualize that person.
Yeah, hold on real quick. I'm sympathetic towards this, and it works in almost all cases, except the issue is you run into one huge part at the beginning of the reporting process, and that's that the goal should be to reduce future harm to minors. So if somebody reports something, then you should say like, oh shit, well, we need to do this even if they don't want to come forward. But then the issue might be that when somebody wants to report something in the future, they're like, I'd report on this guy, but like, I don't want any of my shit public. Like, I'm just not going to report it. It's not worth the deal.
A reporter's duty is to the news, always. That's true. Isn't there like even the thing with reporters that like, you know, like they have advanced knowledge of something going on, but they're embedded with a group? Like this kind of happened with Hamas, didn't it? During the October 7th thing?
If you advance knowledge of a crime, I believe you have to inform on the crime. But it's not like I had advanced knowledge of the information. There was already an investigation happening prior to the information.
So, can I ask did you have some
nature
plan
photographer,
to this overall?
If you're a nature photographer, are you supposed to stop the polar bear from killing the penguin?
No, but that's boring. For most people like Nat Geo and shit, you're literally never supposed to interact with the animals, but these are animals.
Yeah.
Also, there's a distinction, like if you have knowledge of a crime, I don't believe you have an obligation for reporting, but if you have knowledge of a crime that is going to be committed, then you do have an obligation. So if Slasher got DM saying like, Doc's gonna go meet this girl at like 4 p.m. blah blah blah, I think Slasher would have an obligation to say something.
That can't be true, because hasn't there been like vice journalists and shit like that literally get embedded and they're like, okay, we're going into the rainforest to learn how to make coke. Like that would never. Yeah, that's a crime that they're literally going to watch and make happen.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knows coke is getting made in Colombia.
Or you know, you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying that like obviously that can't be the it's not possible that that's the standard.
I think in different countries, and when it comes to like cocaine or like international affairs, it might be different. But like I can't think of a single example in the United States. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I can think of an example in the United States.
They did an interview with the Kia boys, and they were there when they stole cars. That was a recent one. I've seen that.
Where they were what?
Where they watched them, they're like, this is how they're doing it.
Oh, for stuff like that, maybe, yeah. But when it comes to things like rape or murder, I think that there's like an obligation for like a certain level of crimes that you have to report that. Like, I can't think of an example of a journalist who's like, okay, well, today we're going to follow this gang. Like, they said they're going to go and kill this guy. We're going to go and report on this. I don't think you're allowed to just do that and then do a report. I think you have an obligation to report there.
I have a better question for you. I think so much of discussion is on Twitch, and I have reported that Twitch did report this to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Why not?
You have that on record?
Yes. Why not request?
That's a big deal.
Why
that
not?
Is a big deal.
Why not request that they have released information, or why not request that law enforcement through this entire time, which then very likely, at the behest of MEC, to do something, have say something.
Hold on.
That is potential.
We're about to make a clip for Livestream Phil, Slasher, okay? What you're telling me, okay, is that what Doc did, okay, rose to the level that, for a fact, Twitch was forced to make a report to the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children.
CSEA and CSAM report.
What I'm asking is that Twitch did make that report to the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children.
Yes, all of them go there. Yes.
Okay, and they did that for Dr. Disrespect right now.
Yes. When it was initially reported, all reports with CSEA or CSAM are reported.
Okay.
To the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children.
Okay, so there is a report on Dr. Disrespect at the National Center.
The legal process after, again, no court records have ever been found. I've never been able to get law enforcement to comment or even acknowledge that a thing exists. Do not have details on where it went after. All right.
Just to be clear, though, those are just reports, right? So, like, for instance, if I think that Forethought has been engaged in bad behavior in my subreddit, like, if I would make that report to them. They would have that report filed. That doesn't mean anything. It's just a report, right?
Well, NICMIC automatically works with all law enforcement organizations.
Sure, I'm just saying that, like, a report is just a report. It doesn't necessarily mean that, like, something happened. It just means somebody felt like they had an obligation to make that report, right?
Yeah, well, Twitch is obligated to make that report.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me reiterate for the fourth time. I'm just saying that just because a report has been made doesn't mean a crime has been committed. It just means somebody felt like they need to make a report. That's what I'm just saying.
But investigation will happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll leave that part out for the clip.
I'm telling you, Dan, Destiny's chat still thinks I'm full of shit. This entire
They don't think you're full of shit. They wanted you to become Assange. Do you not understand? You were the chosen one, but you backed into the shadows.
Everything that I'm explaining, they definitely think I'm full of shit. I guarantee you. I love you, man, but I'm not.
No,
Slasher, can I ask you where that reporting is? I don't see it in the Rolling Stone article. I don't see it in the Bloomberg article.
Where what reporting
That
is?
the report was made to the National Agency for Missing and Exploited Children or whatever.
I can say that it is being edited in as we speak.
Okay, so is that new information dropping here?
No, it was information which was included and then removed from the edit and then published, and then actually today having a lot of discussion about re-including it with the source